It's 3 a.m. You're wide awake, staring at the ceiling, and the first thought that hits you is, I have insomnia. But here's what almost nobody tells you about that exact moment. Waking up at 3 a.m. might be one of the most normal things your body does. And panicking about it might be the actual thing keeping you awake. Most sleep advice treats every wake-up the same way. One big, scary category called insomnia, fixed with the same generic tips. No caffeine, cool room, no screens. But sleep researchers actually separate nighttime waking into two very different patterns. And knowing which one you're experiencing changes everything about how you should respond. Today, I'm giving you a simple test to tell which one is happening to you, the real reason your sleep changes as you age, and the one habit that actually fixes the frustrating kind. Here's the test. If you wake up around 3 or 4 a.m., and within a reasonably short time, 10, 20 minutes, you drift back to sleep without much effort. That's called sleep maintenance, and it's part of completely normal sleep architecture, especially as we get older. Your body isn't broken. It briefly surfaces between sleep cycles, the way it's designed to, and slides back under. Here's the version actually worth addressing. If you wake up and your mind immediately races, you start doing math about how many hours of sleep you have left. You check the clock repeatedly, and an hour or more passes before you're back asleep. And this is happening most nights. That's a different pattern, sometimes called sleep maintenance insomnia. The distinguishing factor isn't that you woke up. Everyone wakes up multiple times a night without remembering it. It's whether your brain calmly lets you drift back under, or whether it switches into alert, problem-solving mode the moment your eyes open. Now here's why this changes as you age. Your sleep isn't one long, uninterrupted block. It's built from repeating 90-minute cycles, moving through lighter stages and deeper stages throughout the night. As we get older, two things shift. First, we spend less time in deep, slow-wave sleep and more time in the lighter stages, which naturally makes us easier to wake. Second, our circadian rhythm, the internal clock that governs sleepiness, gradually shifts earlier, so you may feel tired earlier in the evening and correspondingly wake earlier in the very early morning hours. This is called a phase advance, and it's a completely normal, well-documented part of aging, not a malfunction. Understanding this reframes the entire experience. You're not failing at sleep. Your sleep architecture has simply shifted its shape, and waking during a lighter stage is your body working exactly as designed. So what actually helps when you do wake up and your mind starts racing? This is where most advice gets it backwards, telling you to lie there and try harder to fall back asleep. Sleep researchers who study insomnia recommend almost the opposite, a technique sometimes called the 20-minute rule. If you've been awake in bed for roughly 20 minutes and your mind is active, get up. Go to another room. Do something calm and boring in dim light, folding laundry, reading something unstimulating, nothing on a bright screen. The goal is to break the association your brain is building between your bed and being awake and alert. Once you feel genuinely drowsy again, go back to bed. This might mean getting up 2 or 3 times some nights, and that's fine. That's the process working, not failing. Over time, this rebuilds your brain's association between your bed and actual sleep, rather than bed and lying there anxious. This single habit is one of the most well-supported techniques in clinical insomnia treatment, and it works specifically because it stops the anxious loop before it has a chance to build. Let's bring it together. First, waking briefly and drifting back easily is normal sleep architecture, not insomnia. Second, racing thoughts and an hour or more awake, happening most nights, is worth addressing directly. Third, your sleep naturally shifts shape as you age, lighter stages and an earlier internal clock. And that's architecture, not failure. And fourth, if you're lying awake with an active mind, get up rather than lying there trying harder, and let your body settle before returning to bed. Next time you wake at 3 a.m., before you panic, ask yourself the real question: is my mind calm or racing? That answer tells you everything about what to do next. Tomorrow, I'm covering the medications that quietly disrupt sleep more than people realize, and the questions worth asking your doctor about them. I'll see you then.